We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I are going to talk about the power of skip tracing neighbors around land that you own. Yesterday, I talked a little bit about, or I had a prelude to this episode about why some young people, and rightfully so, I think this isn't like some type of archaic approach to buying real estate by sending mail, actual paper in the mail. In a lot of ways, they're not wrong. But it's still the most effective way that I know to contact sellers.
And legal way.
Legally, blindly contact sellers and see if they want to sell their property. And incredibly effective.
And respectful.
Yeah.
Too. I don't want people calling me. Come on.
Right.
We just got through election time. How many phone calls did you hit ignore on?
I mean, 98% of the, probably if you're like me, a vast majority of stuff that crosses your path from a advertising standpoint or content standpoint on your phone, television, or whatever you choose to let in from a content standpoint is still unwanted.
Right.
But if you get a text from somebody that says, hey, I know you know that property that you have down in XYZ County, I just bought the property next to it and I'm selling it for a lot cheaper than you bought yours. So if you're interested, before I put it on the market, just let me know if you want to do a cash deal. That's something I'm actually really interested in. I buy and sell a bunch of classic cars, and if I got texts like, hey, you bought that 68 fill in the blank, and I've got another one that's really similar to it, a lot cheaper, you better believe I'm going to respond to that text. Mm-hmm. So this can be really effective and, in my opinion, completely appropriate and legal. Mm-hmm. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
By the way, last year, a ton of people came to us. You know what? I want to talk about concierge for a second. You talked about O2O yesterday. I'm going to talk about concierge right now. So, this is a little plug for a little company that we have offers to owners and a new service called Concierge Data and Concierge Data Plus. You're going to have to help me with what the plus, with the correct definition of plus. But basically, here's the gist. Many of you have come to us because not only were mail merge making your head hurt, but then downloading and scrubbing the data to get it to that point and then get it in the mail and then do some back end scrubbing on pricing comps and things like that. That was really making your head hurt. So, and we also had a lot of heavy hitters that came to us and said, I just don't have time. I know exactly what I'm doing and how to do it, but it takes me some time. So we create a company within our mail company, and it's Concierge Data. So if you want to find out more about that, send a note to support@landacademy.com or support@offerstoowners.com, and they will get right back to you and hook you up with that.
Yeah, I was Concierge Data's first customer.
Yeah.
And it really worked because I was tired of doing mailers. If I'm tired of doing mailers, believe it.
Yeah.
It's and it works out great. We still use it every month.
Yeah. So my point is, whether you're brand new to this, or experienced at it, whatever, we could take that off your plate. All right. Back to the question here. Steve wrote, anyone in here using Traction as a business process system? And if so, what kind of numbers are tracked on your scorecard? And here's a reply. One person wrote, Matt wrote, I love the Traction system, and I use the 2-page Vision Traction organizer document for this business. Every week I set aside some time to review the VTO and the Land Academy Equity Planner. Being a team of one right now, I believe the VTO and Equity Planner have enough numbers for me to stay focused and hit my quarterly goals. The numbers I measure are mail pieces sent per week, monthly revenue, monthly profit, monthly number of deals bought and sold, and cash in the bank. My main number is the amount of mail going out each week. Boy, I agree with that one.
So this all falls under something that I didn't really realize had to be talked about out loud. And Jill has, I'm sorry, I had knocked your microphone. Jill has a bunch of stuff in her life that she's like, doesn't everybody know how to answer the phone? So it's interesting when we have conversations about this. The traction system, if you don't know about it, is incredibly valuable. It's very, very popular. And it essentially, here's the ultra one sentence summary or 1 or 2 sentences. Track your numbers. If you're going to send out 5,000 letters, find out how many deals you bought. And if you're happy with that, keep doing it. If you're unhappy with that, make some changes. If you're buying for 20,000 and selling for 40,000 and you're happy with that, keep doing it, and on and on and on. So I created Equity Planner a long time ago. Equity Planner is the spreadsheet, a group of spreadsheets that you get when you're a Land Academy member to organize how much mail you're going to send out and to get you down that thought process of, do I want to buy for 30,000 and sell for 60? And if I do, how many deals do I want to do a month? And what's my year going to look like if I hit budget? And it gets you down that numbers driven, data driven thought process and goal oriented system. Mm-hmm. Traction does it in an acute, understandable way for all businesses. The Equity Planner is something I did long before I ever knew about Traction. I don't think Traction was even out. Mm-hmm. It's a book. So between those two, I love what he's saying here. Between those two, I really think if you're really, really looking at numbers constantly, cash in the bank, how many deals you're doing, how many deals you're not doing, how many do you want to do, and make decisions that way, then you're going to do incredibly well. So this is a huge, I don't think that it was intended this way. This is a massive compliment to me.
Yes, it is.
And that's how I see it. And so, there's probably half of you that are sitting here listening to this or watching this saying, that's great, but I hate math and I don't want to do it that way. I want to talk on the phone and maybe you're on Jill's side of the sheet or maybe you're not. Just find somebody. It might be your spouse, or it might be a new business partner that obsesses on this stuff like I do, and
help you stay focused and growing. Yeah. And that's the bottom line here. You want to keep growing, I think, because even if you're like, no, I'm happy with my bottom line. This is all I ever want to make. And there's many of you that are out there. You could maybe even be more efficient at it. By the way, maybe it's taking you 5 deals a month to hit that number. Wouldn't you rather do 2? Or 1?
I can't even imagine.
That's how I think. But then if I do 1, now I'm like, well, now I can do 5 of those a month.
I'm like praying to our financial statements every month. That's what I do.
What does that mean?
I mean that I am, I live to please my financial statement and to soothe it and to hit budget and to make it, the bottom line as black as possible.
The financial statement gods, basically. Yeah.
I'm not trying to please Jill. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to please anybody. I'm not trying to please myself. I want those financial statements I want the bottom line every month in that financial statement. I have a number in my head and it's not the same number. It changes all the time.
Yeah, it goes up every month.
Yeah. And the only way I know to do that, to ensure that that's going to happen, is by controlling how much mail I send out, where I send it, just the Land Academy stuff. Mm-hmm. Where I, trolling for new areas, finding areas that work really well, even in this environment, mm-hmm. and just jamming Jill's pipeline completely and totally full of deals so that I know that financial statement, what it's going to look like. Mm-hmm. I love that string of comments in Discord. Mm-hmm. Today's topic, the power of skip tracing your neighbors about surrounding land that you already own. This is the meat of the show. I think you have some stuff to say, Gerald, or if you don't, I'll go.
Well, I was thinking about the value for me, and when I reach out to the neighbors are 2 reasons. One is to sell the property, and B is because I need something from them. Kind of thing. Maybe I need information about what's going on in the area, or this property kind of thing. Or I also maybe I need access from them, or just something about the access kind of thing. So I was just going to tell you how I use this and how I have used this. for me, it's very fast. In 30 minutes, I could draw a circle around a property and download the names and addresses, or just, within parcel fact. You could do a data tree or parcel fact. Either one works. And I can get something in the mail with my point across. Just bought it, haven't listed it yet. Are you interested? Here you go. Or haven't bought it, or I just bought it. I'm looking for access. I think it's you. How can we work that out? P.S. It's for sale. I always throw that in there too. I'm always selling at the same time. And it's worked out great. For me, there's something nice about, and because I'll put a map in there and I could show my property, your property, because it might be some little old lady who's getting this envelope and wondering what I'm asking, and I could see here's where the road is, kind of thing. And usually nowadays I'm not often buying properties without any sort of access. So I'll buy stuff with physical access. I need to confirm we can work out legal access, kind of thing. So that's the times that I have used this.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, and this is a truth time, it's underused in our own company. I think that we could probably utilize it a little bit more. I've never heard this sentence from anyone in Land Academy ever. Yeah, I sent a bunch of neighbor letters out and I didn't get a response.
Yeah, it's true.
I sent a bunch of neighbor skip tracing is what this is all about. It's the same effect. It's just a lot faster and cheaper.
Right.
I skip traced all my neighbors about the property that I'm selling, and I didn't get a response, and nobody wanted to talk about it. That just doesn't exist.
Right.
People own land the vast majority of the time, if not all the time, and they're wondering in the back of their head, I wonder what I'm going to do with that. Am I going to sell it? Is now a good time to sell it? Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should go out there, check it out, and again. They always want to know about their land. They're enthusiastic about it. So when they get a text that pops in among the deluge of texts that they get that they don't care about, a lot of times, including from their own family, it's interesting. So I think that I've skip traced and sent out, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred, usually for acquisitions, a couple hundred tests over the last couple of years, and got an amazing response and got deals out of it. So you just have to really make sure you're in compliance with the rules on that, and do an incredible amount of research on the internet about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and how much trouble you can or cannot get into by sending texts.
I'll tell you how you will get in trouble. If you mass email or mass text a group of people that have not had any contact with you, and I mean volume, like a same kind of a spammy thing, that's going to set up all kinds of red flags. So don't do that.
The legal crossover used to be, are you manually sending a text like we all do every day? Or are you using a tool like a rotodialer? Right. But that's not the case anymore. There's now cases where you're manually doing it in a compulsive way to 500 people a day and just phishing. Right. Check this definition of solicitation rules. But again, that's all complaint driven. There's very, very few people are going to complain if they say, hey, I just bought a property real close to yours and I'd love to talk about it with you.
Yeah, there you go. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow's Jack Thursday, and I'm going to talk about the laws of abundance. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Is this a topic in Discord right now?
It's come up, but it's something I've talked about in the past, and I want to talk about it again because I think that we're in the middle. Jill and I are in the middle of delivering the career path, and so much of what goes on in career path is not, hey, how do I send out a mailer? Hey, how do I answer the phone? It's not that. It's getting over the limits that we place on ourselves subconsciously. And this laws of abundance is, I never cared about any of this stuff. I always called it, self-help / new age. until I met Jill.
Mumbo jumbo.
Until I met Jill, and she's like, "No, man, this is serious." And I'm like, "No, it's not." For years, I'm like, "Okay, go in your cute little corner.
Exactly.
Do what
Call
you
me
need
when
to
you're
do.
back from your little goofoo retreat.
Maybe do a seminar, go to retreat. I'm sure you're going to be a
Have
better
a good
person.
time.
I'm sure you'll be a better person when you come back, you know." And she was right.
Thanks.
All that stuff really, really, really matters. And so this law of abundance, which we'll talk about tomorrow, is a really positive, simple way to understand what we're negatively doing to ourselves and don't need to.
There you go. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, we would love to connect with you when we are live on Clubhouse. What's Clubhouse? Check it out. It's an app, and it's like kind of like a live radio show. And you can join Jack and I every first and third Thursday of the month at 12 o'clock Pacific time. Go seek us out in the Land Investing Club. Follow that. Follow us, and you'll be notified when we're there. We are Jack and Jill.
Information
And inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable, and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.